What if I told you the Sahara Desert, a place we imagine as an endless, empty sea of sand, is actually hiding secrets more astonishing than we could ever imagine? For centuries, we've seen it as a vast, barren wasteland, a barrier that separated cultures and swallowed history. But that's all changing. Thanks to groundbreaking satellite technology, we are now peering beneath the shifting dunes, looking back in time to uncover lost ancient kingdoms and revealing entire civilizations that vanished without a trace. Imagine this, a network of rivers, lush valleys, and bustling towns, all thriving in what is now the driest hot desert on Earth. It sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? But this is the reality that modern archaeology is piecing together. Our eyes in the sky satellites orbiting hundreds of miles above Usar, equipped with powerful sensors. They can detect subtle changes in the ground's elevation, variations in soil composition, and even the spectral signatures of ancient buried materials. This isn't just about taking pretty pictures. It's about using light beyond what our eyes can see, like infrared and radar, to map a world that has been lost for millennia. So, what exactly are we finding? For starters, evidence of a green Sahara. Scientists studying satellite data and geological samples have confirmed that as recently as 5,000 years ago, the Sahara was a vibrant savanna, teeming with life. There were enormous lakes, some the size of small countries, and a complex network of rivers flowed through the landscape. This was the world that nurtured the civilizations we are now rediscovering. One of the most incredible discoveries is the Garamantian civilization, centered in modern-day Libya. The Garamantes were masters of the desert. Satellite imagery revealed their highly sophisticated underground irrigation systems known as fagor. These were massive networks of tunnels, hand-dug over thousands of years, that tapped into ancient underground aquifers. These channels transported water for dozens, sometimes hundreds, of miles, allowing the Garamantes to build flourishing cities and farms right in the heart of the desert. There were not just a few scattered tribes. They were a complex, organized kingdom with a capital city, Garama, and at least 8 major towns. Archaeologists, guided by satellite maps, have located the ruins of their castles, pyramids, and more than 100 fortified farming villages. Before this technology, we only knew about the Garamantes from a few mentions in Roman texts, which often portrayed them as nomadic troublemakers. Satellites proved they were brilliant engineers and city builders who dominated the trans-Saharan trade routes long before the rise of the famous medieval empires of West Africa. But the Garamantes are just one piece of the puzzle. Further west, in Mauritania, satellites have helped pinpoint the locations of hundreds of ancient stone settlements. Some dated back to 1000 BC, these settlements are often arranged in striking patterns, clustered along the faint outlines of ancient riverbeds that are completely invisible from the ground. Radar, satellite, data, which can effectively penetrate dry sand, has been crucial here. It's like having X-ray vision for the planet. These images show us the fossilized river systems, and right along their banks, we find the remains of these lost communities. We're talking about stone circles, complex burial sites, and the foundations of entire villages, all laid out in front of us on a digital map. It begs the question, who were these people? What was their culture like? Why did they disappear? The answer to their disappearance is tied to the dramatic climate change that transformed the Sahara. Over several thousand years, the monsoon rains that fed the region shifted south. The lakes dried up, the rivers vanished, and the lush savanna turned to sand. The civilizations that had thrived there were forced to adapt, migrate, or perish. The Garamantes, for example, saw their incredible irrigation system fail as the underground water table dropped. Their civilizations slowly collapsed, and the desert reclaimed their cities. What we are seeing with satellites are the final footprints of these societies, preserved beneath the sand just before the environment became too harsh to support them. Think about the scale of this. We are literally redrawing the map of ancient human history. For a long time, our understanding of early African civilizations was largely focused on Egypt and the Nile Valley. But the Sahara was not a void. It was a cradle of innovation and culture. Satellite archaeology is democratizing history, revealing that complex societies flourished in unexpected places. Another mind-blowing discovery is the sheer number of potential archaeological sites. One automated survey using high-resolution satellite imagery identified over 1.3 million potential tombs in a single region of the Central Sahara. Manually, it would take archaeologists centuries to find these. Now, they can prioritize which sites to excavate, making their work incredibly efficient. These aren't just piles of rocks either. In one location, archaeologists investigating a satellite anomaly found a massive fortress the size of a small town, complete with walls and structures, completely unknown to history. In others, they found rock art depicting giraffes, elephants, and people. Swing a stark reminder of the green world that once was. It's a powerful and humbling experience to see a satellite image of a faint, geometric pattern in the desert. And then to visit that spot and find the foundations of a 3,000-year-old settlement. It connects us directly to a lost past. The stories are literally written on the earth, but we needed a new way to read them. This technology is also helping us protect this fragile heritage. Many of these ancient sites are threatened by modern development, erosion, and looting. By mapping them from space, we can create protected zones and monitor for any destructive activity. It has a race against time to study and preserve these records of human resilience and ingenuity before they are lost forever. We're living in a golden age of discovery, not with ships crossing oceans, but with satellites scanning our own planet. The Sahara, which once seemed to have no history, is now revealing itself to be one of the richest archaeological landscapes in the world. So, what's next? The technology is only getting better. Higher resolution imagery, more powerful radar systems, and even artificial intelligence are being used to scan vast areas and identify patterns that the human eye might miss. We are on the verge of uncovering even more lost kingdoms, more ancient cities, and more chapters of our shared human story that were buried beneath the sands of time. The Sahara's secrets are slowly being unveiled, not by digging randomly in the sand, but by looking down from the heavens. The next time you look at a map of the Sahara, don't just see an empty space. See a hidden world, a landscape of memory, waiting for us to rediscover it. The stories are there, and thanks to our eyes in the sky, we are finally learning how to listen. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey back in time. It's amazing what we can learn when we look at our world from a new perspective. If you enjoyed this and want to explore more mysteries hidden across our planet, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you won't miss our next adventure. We'll see you in the next video.